Hi everyone, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today we are doing the Trinity Stamps Autumn Impressions video hop. There's also an Instagram hop and I'm going to have everything linked down below, but before we get into it, let's talk about what we're using. I'm going to be using a few new things. This first one is the Fabulous stamp set. It is a big slimline stamp set, fun to color, great for backgrounds, and we'll do some fun things with it. We're also going to be using this really cool die. This is called Boo Brew, and I love the options with this as well. And you'll see how that comes along, but it is so great. And then we also have this stencil. This is the Seasonal Winds stencil. It has both the negative and the positive for this. And there is actually a stamp set that goes along with it. Then we're also going to bring in this older die. This is the Slimline Modern Embossed frame panels. I love using those embossed frames. They just add such a touch. So let's just jump right into it. I have put the Fabulous stamp into my Misty. I'm going to ink this up with some Fadeout ink. And Fadeout is just a very light, almost like a light brown. It's really good for no line coloring. I'm not going to do no line coloring. I want this to be my background. And I do have a piece of cream cardstock in my Misty. We're going with a very fall feeling. So I stamped it a couple times, and then I went ahead and die cut all the pieces that I needed from the Boo Brew dies, and then we're gonna accent those. So I've got my blender buddies, and we're using some Campfire, Crackling Campfire ink, just to add a little dimension to these dies. I've die cut them, and then I put them right back into the negative piece of cardstock, and just kind of kept those in place using some foam tape, or not foam tape, but some mint tape. It's basically like a post-it tape. This way I could easily do any sort of ink blending on there and not worry about it. And I did the same thing with the leaf. So I cut that out, put it back in, and now I'm just using some cracked pistachio. This brown that I'm using is the brushed corduroy. The other one that I used was gathered twigs, but I just want to put that on the whipped cream, almost like there's cinnamon on there. And then we're going to do some splatter. So this first color that I'm using is just some Distress spray, and then I've got some Distress Oxide in the color Lucky Clover, and then this one is Wild Honey. That first Distress spray, I don't even remember which one it was, but it was a regular Distress spray, like a dark green. Here I've pulled in the Modern Embossed frame panel, and you'll see how that looks. Gives this really cool embossed edge. And then I'm going to tack down my stencil. Like I said, there is a stamp set that goes along with this, and I actually really love the versatility of this. You could use it for wind, or you could use it for coffee, like the steam coming out of the coffee. And that's kind of what I was thinking, even though this is going to be on the side of the coffee. It just really gave me that vibe of steam. And in this case, fall wind. So, I mean, you got a couple of options there. And so I just blended on some more of that brushed corduroy. Now we're going to start doing some assembly. So I'll use liquid glue to adhere down. Actually, I didn't use liquid glue. I used some post-it tape on the back just to hold that in place. It won't go anywhere once I put my foam tape on the back. But now we're going to put the cinnamon stick together. And there is a way to do it. Now there are two little pieces for the cinnamon stick, and you do want to make sure that you get the right one where it's supposed to be. But everything is super easy assembly. I'm just using some liquid glue to put everything down and my pickup stick. And then you've got this really cute little cinnamon stick. I'll show it to you. How fun is that? Just the little details of stuff like this that I just absolutely love. And then we can adhere that to the back, kind of checking out where my leaf is going to go, but I'm not going to attach my leaf down yet. I want to attach all those little pieces that make this cup look like a pumpkin, and there is a right way to do this also, because I screwed up the first time. What you're going to want to do is basically make it look, or line up your two outside edges right up against the edge, and you're going to want to make sure that you are creating a straight line with the top of your pieces. So I'm putting both of those outside edges right up against the edge, and then you can leave a little bit of space in between each of the pieces that you cut here. But again, you're lining it all up so it'd be like a straight line at the very top. The bottom is going to round out, but the top is going to be straight, if that makes sense. Almost like it's, you're lining up against the ridge of the top of the coffee cup. So, and you'll see what I'm doing, but that is the way to do it. If you do it any other way, it's not going to look right, because just ask me how I know. We'll glue down our little leaf, and then our darling little Boo Brew mug is done. I just love that. I love it. All right, for our sentiment, I just have some dark brown cardstock. I'm going to use some juicy embossing ink and take a couple of the sentiments from the Fabulous stamp set. And we'll stamp a couple of those up there, well, this first one. And then I'm going to use some vanilla embossing powder. I didn't want the bright white because my cardstock is a cream color, so I thought it would be perfect to bring in a cream colored embossing powder. And this is a fine detail one, and that worked great. So we'll stamp out our next one and do the exact same process with that also. You're fabulous and thanks a latte. And then I'll put this into my guillotine trimmer and trim those down, and then we'll put some foam tape on the back of the one that's going to go on the outside, and also put some foam tape on the back of our mug. You can see that post-it tape back there. I'll peel off that release paper. I did not put any foam tape on the handle of my mug, and the reason for that is because I want this sentiment, my sentiment to slip right underneath it, so like it's coming out from behind there. And now for our card base, more of that cream cardstock cut down to 7 inches by 8.5 inches, scored at 3.5 inches, and then we've got a slimline card base. I'll take a few of the stamps from our Fabulous stamp, and I'll stamp those out using the Fadeout ink, just to add a little something, kind of tie the outside to the inside. But like I said, this is a part of a video hop. So I'm going to have all the information linked down below. There are prizes to be won. You're going to want to head over to the Instagram, check out the Instagram hop that's going on as well. A couple different prizes to win. So again, description box, all the information. All right, so we finished up the inside of our card, and now we can attach down our card panel to our card base using that same liquid glue. It's going to be a nice little cream border on the outside of that. And you know I can't stop there. So I am bringing in some Topaz Twinkle embellishments. I am absolutely obsessed with these little gems going on the outside of my cards. I can't seem to stop putting them out there. I love how sparkly they are. They're fairly low profile. And check it out. Isn't that so great? Oh, I love how that came together. So if you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. All these products are available right now. I do have a few of them linked down below. And go check them out if you're interested. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.